Canadian English on Apple products. Apple is an American company. As many of you probably know, Canadian English is different from American English and closer to British English, e.g. color instead of color. I use iwork and Microsoft Office for Mac, along with many other applications on OS X and OS X, nor my iPhone have an option to switch to Canadian English. Yes, you can select Canadian English as an input language in the language bar, but any program that uses the central OS X spell checking, from Mail to Office to iwork to Chrome, will check words against an American English dictionary. I know asking a question that involves an iPhone component is borderline off topic, but I know on my iPhone I can select British English, but that turns my dollar into pound and has a few other weird spelling quirks. Simple question, is it possible to make OS X, and maybe the iPhone, use a Canadian English dictionary for its spell checking? Because British English just doesn't cut it anymore. Thanks. Edit. I will leave Canadian English at the top of the list. Edit number 2, Chilean solution works for all the programs that use Coco for spell checking, and that covers most of the apps I run. I would suggest doing that in conjunction with rearranging the language order in international preferences, in Tiger, Leopard, or follow GOP's advice for Snow Leopard.
System preferences is greater than language and text is greater than text tab. There is a spelling pop-up on the right that says spelling, where you can select the dictionary. There is a Canadian English option available. Snow Leopard tested. On my system, I use automatic by language as the setting, and Canadian English in the language bar, and get the proper spelling for color, labor etc. in spell checks, if you're talking about money. He. Edit, as for iwork, you have to make sure the proper language is selected in your styles. In Pages, for instance, there is a Canadian English setting in the text panel, under the More tab. Edit number 2. Okay, so you don't use Snow Leopard, if your system can handle it, get it, $30 is a bargain, here's another option. Install Coco Spell and a Canadian English dictionary is available on the Spell FTP site.
In Mac OS X 10.6, open up System Preferences. Choose the Language and Text Preference pane. Choose the Text tab. For spelling, choose Canadian English. Alternatively, the instructions for 10.5 and earlier still works as well. In Mac OS X 10.5 and earlier, it's not very obvious. Open up a Coco application such as TextEdit, Pages, etc. Control right-click on some text and choose Show Spelling and Grammar. At the bottom there will be a selection of dictionaries, change it to Canadian English. This will only affect applications that use the OS X dictionary. For example Safari, but not Firefox.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.